Should be. If not, if you prefer to go there.
Okay, it is now. And I just want to thank the congressman for being here and really setting that foundation for us. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the time he has come to Flint. And thank you as well, and to all of the panelists and everybody here. I have mixed feelings about being here, because in 2017 we shouldn't be talking about access to clean water. But I know I have a responsibility, and part of that responsibility is if I can stop what happened in Flint should never have happened, and if I can be helpful to any other community and hope that this never happens to them again, and help so it never happens anyplace else, I have a responsibility and an obligation to do that. And I want to say you are absolutely right. Flint is the face. Flint is a poster child, and that's what we have become, is a poster child for lack of access to clean water and an aging infrastructure. But we know there's an aging infrastructure across this country that hasn't been addressed, and we know that there are issues with water quality standards and them being too low. And so that's what Flint is the poster child for. And so what happened in Flint can happen any place. It can happen any place. So I'm really hoping people learn and watch and see what happened in Flint. And I usually don't say use us, but use us as an example and learn from us. But in 2014, probably most people know, but let me just give you a little bit of background. In 2014, our water source was switched. We'd always gotten our water from Lake Huron, one of the Great Lakes, through Detroit. And they switched the water source. That was switched to the Flint River, and corrosion control wasn't put in. And immediately the people of Flint knew something was wrong, because our water was brown, it didn't smell good, it didn't feel right, and people began having rashes and hair falling out. And then people started noticing something was wrong with the children. So as a result, we have a community of 100,000 that was actually poisoned. We were with lead contamination. We also had people who lost their lives as a result of Legionnaire's disease. So our young kids were impacted, the entire community was impacted, but your vulnerable populations, young kids, seniors, and people with compromised immune systems. But it was really the perfect storm, because the way we got into this situation, and I don't know if people know, that was because of an emergency manager law that was in the state of Michigan. And when you have an emergency manager law, you basically have a dictatorship where the state comes in and takes over, and they take power from the mayor's office, they take power from the city council, and they make all of the decisions. They appoint one person to make all of the decisions, and that person reports to the governor and the governor only. So like I said, last time I checked, that was called a dictatorship, and that was what happened. And while they were supposed to stay in the lane of looking at the finances, they decided to do us a favor and run day-to-day operations, and they sold things off. They decimated the staff in City Hall. Well, you don't need staff when you have one person making all the decisions. They sold our assets. They sold our pipeline. We used to sell water, and they sold our pipeline. They got rid of our garbage trucks. They got rid of our city parks, our city golf courses. So they sold off the assets because they were looking to go to a different form of government. And so that was what happened in the city of Flint. It was just the perfect storm for water to be poisoned. And right now, we continue to be on bottled and filtered water. We're into year 3 that we've been on bottled and filtered water, and that's way too long. The good thing, what I'm happy to say, is we have made some progress in Flint. Have we gotten what we deserve? No, we haven't, but we were able to get a whole lot more than anybody ever expected that we would get. So, we got money from the Obama administration, $100 million for infrastructure, and then the state finally came through and gave another $97 million. So we have money to replace all of those lead service and galvanized lines, and our goal is 6,000 over the next 3 years. So we're on track. We've done a little bit over 4,000 right now, and our goal is, like I said, 6,000 this year. We've gotten funding from the state to put new fixtures in homes, because people didn't realize that your fixtures were corroded as well as a result of this. So we can change lead service lines, but if the things in your home are contaminated, it doesn't make any difference. And so we have funding for about 4,500 to 4,600 homes. It's not enough. They were going to shut down our water pods this month. We had to fight to keep those open because we still need access to clean water, whether it's bottled or filtered. And so we've kept the water pods open and the church has stepped up. So we have 4 of those that continue to stay open. We have about 10 churches that are going to continue to deliver bottled water and do door-to-door delivery for the people that are sick and shut in. So we've made some progress. We got the Medicaid expansion up to age 21 and for all pregnant women. Those are some things that have happened. We got school nurses again. We have 1 school nurse, now we have 9. We've been able to build capacity for staff in City Hall. And economic development has been huge because we had a public health crisis, an infrastructure crisis, and an economic development crisis. And so we've been able to, we have a company called Lear that's coming in, investing $30 million in the city of Flint, and jobs are happening. And one of the things we know we had to do was, as a crisis comes, we have to take some opportunity. And so we had to make sure that the people of the city of Flint were going to benefit economically from this crisis. And